All right, here we go. January 16th, 2019. Facebook Live again, Wednesday. Waiting for all of you to join in. Hey, Karen, Larry. Aha, Larry, you came in early. A lot of stuff to talk about today. Thank you guys for joining. Wait a few minutes just to, if you guys got any thoughts, any things you guys want to chat about, go ahead and put them in a chat box, and we'll definitely go ahead and discuss today. Like I said, lots to talk about. Oh, the mayor has joined us. Lynn, thank you for joining us. Anyana, Kaipo Dabin. Oh, gosh. Aloha, Kaipo. Jenny, Galen, Ann, Farley, Darlene, Shane, Belinda. Gosh. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining us on Wednesday. You know, as we do every Wednesday, 5:30 to 6:30. Been a pretty active week, pretty busy new year, I'm sure, for everyone. Hey, Su Kanoho, Kenny Tasaka, Barbara Garcia. Hey, Sue, I got to tell you, I was at home today. I ran some errands in Lihue. I came home and I was kicking back on my computer doing some work, and there was a chicken right outside my living room window, which I don't usually get around here. And the chicken was crowing and crowing and crowing and crowing and crowing, and I thought of you. But then again, I thought about all the centipedes that chicken will eat. So I threw some food out there for the chicken, just so we hope he hangs around. Yeah, Kaipo, Utah. Must be a little chilly up there, man. I see your posts. Look like you lead an exciting life up there in Utah. Thanks for chiming in. Hey, Laurie, aloha. Sandy, thanks for my sister Sandy is online. All right. Yeah, we get last week we had a record number of people. I don't know. I don't check the stats, but I know that when I look at the counter, there was quite a few, the most ever anyway. So, like I said, well, hey, Cindy, I just saw your post. Good luck in your new lifestyle. I tell you what, retirement is cool, but it's also, you know, a lot more busy, a lot more things to do. Aloha, Ms. Summers and Susan and Leona and Charlene Ortiz. Yeah, Leona, I know we had a board meeting tonight, and I saw the post that it was canceled, so we scheduled a dinner. Patsy and I scheduled a dinner. We have
Patsy wants to help the food bank.
we went gonna celebrate a cousin's birthday tonight, which so anyway, I committed to that when I thought the board meeting was canceled. So anyway, sorry about that. Let everybody know that I had intended to go, but I'll definitely make the next one. Tell Casey and everyone I said hi as well. Kaipo, what am I doing now? Nothing. I retired December, and I work at Timbers Resort as a night auditor, 5 nights a week. But other than that, cruising, kicking back, just enjoying this free time that I have. I believe it or not, this is gonna freak a lot of people out. Hey, Kira, Bethany, and Star, Shay, and Kawai Rose, Roger, aloha, you guys all for Kehaulani. Thank you for coming and sharing as well. Yeah, I retired from the county, Kaipo, but so I still working up at Timbers. And believe it or not, I was just so bored, I decided to go and drive for Uber and Lyft. So I'm doing that whenever I jump on the road and I got to go into Lihue or Kapa'a. I just turn my Uber on, and for a few days. I think I've been doing it now. I did it 3 days in the last couple of weeks. I just do it when I idle time and just getting to meet a lot of people from around the world, you know, from Canada, from Guatemala, from London, and all over the country. So it's actually pretty cool. No CDLs, Uber. I pick them up in my 2016 Ford F-150, which trips everybody out because they're always expecting some Honda or Nissan. And like I tell every rider, you know you're in the country when you call for an Uber and you get a Ford F-150 pickup. So it's actually pretty fun. Very short on Uber drivers, so they're very thankful when they open up their app and they see an available Uber. So yeah, we Good times, good times. So anyway, I'm just doing that and see how that thing goes. But other than that, just enjoying the time that I was thinking about it. 14 years with the county. My time was always occupied, and my mind for sure was always occupied. So now it's kind of an opportunity for me to relax and just have some me time and enjoy life, and that's what I am doing. Let me see. I still think you should show up with one. yeah, maybe I'll get a tour bus, get an old secondhand one and show up with that. Hey, Helena and Millie Wright, thank you for joining. Well, let me just get started. Today was opening of the legislature. Pretty interesting. It's the first opening that I missed in a long time, but I just watched the news tonight and I saw some of the topics that they're going to be dealing with, and one of them that really caught my eye. Yeah, Rich, I agree. We need to plan for Kauai's future. Still need solutions for problems. Yeah, and we talk a lot about that here on the live, but. One of the things that really troubled me, and I know some of you are supporters and some of you are opponents, but the discussion on recreational marijuana, that is something that I wish the legislature would put more energy and effort into the issues that affect our people, like housing and homelessness and cost of living. So anyway, it's something that I think we all got to watch and make sure we let our legislators know how you feel, one way or the other. One way or the other. I think that we definitely need to have our voices heard as far as any of the issues that face our people, but more specifically, the ones that I believe will really ruin our way of life. We're already struggling, and to legalize marijuana recreationally, I think, is a huge mistake. How long would it take for the government shutdown to continue, for it to trickle down to the county of Kauai? Well, it's already here in the county of Kauai. Our TSA workers, we have ag workers, we have Coast Guard, we have a lot of federal employees here in Kauai that's been impacted by the shutdown. I do have that on my list. We can go right into that now. I think it's an embarrassment to our country how we cannot get our people paid. It baffles me. A lot of the workers are sent home on furlough, but a lot of them are being required to go to work and not get paid. Yet Congress and the president can argue all day and all night long. It's just frustrating to watch. It just happen right in front of our eyes. In the county, if for some reason something happened and you go transfer funds or whatever the case may be, something I know that the Congress and the president should be able to come to some sort of agreement for at least monies to get these people paid. I don't expect how those guys can sit up there at Congress and in the White House bickering about a wall when, and this isn't about the wall, this is about Congress and the president coming together to figure out how can we get our employees paid and getting them back to work as soon as possible. I don't think a lot of those guys, I think we got to understand that Ella, John, Nate, Sonny, Todd, Thomas, Roland, I don't think these people, obviously for sure Trump, but all of the Congress people, they're all very wealthy individuals. And I don't believe that any of them really understand what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. So for them to just say, yeah, it's day 26 of the government shutdown, we have to figure out a way to, that's unacceptable. No, you get your butts together and come up with a way to fund these people's pay. And it needs to be done. For it to affect the county government, Leona, I don't know how it will affect, other than, again, we are responsible for our people, and those federal employees are citizens and taxpayers of the county of Kauai. So when we impact them, we impact our county. So it's a trickle down effect, and that's, I think, a big problem that and Trump is insane. Not the Congress problem. Senate passed the same bill, House passed, but now McConnell. I just cannot imagine how one man can have that much power to stop government. I just and I could be wrong, but I just wish they would put their egos aside. And I heard Pelosi today on her thing. Oh, we're gonna postpone the State of the Union. Take the personalities out of it and what does that do? I mean, because they're concerned about the safety. No, those guys are getting paid. Not everybody's not getting paid, and I think that's the frustration. So anyway, we should be for medical only. I agree, Fred. I definitely agree with that. I know I saw earlier someone said that it's already happening, and so we should legalize it. You know, I that's one theory. I disagree with that theory respectfully, Ms. Pa, but I mean, if that was the rationale, I think, you know, we'd legalize every single illegal activity because illegal activity occurs every day. I think we got to get a handle on it, and I think we got to, you know, we got to basically, you know, I'm not suggesting we'll go out and actively and aggressively enforce the use of marijuana, but heck, not legalize it. I think the social issues, social problems that come along with that, we don't want to see that. Yeah, not just one, man. It's McConnell Trump shutdown. That's what they should rename it. Anyway, hey, Marlene and Julie and Sadet, thanks for joining us. Yeah, but the bottom line is we have families that are suffering, and we have banks that are offering low interest loans. And I think I talked about this last week. Is how do you justify forcing employees that are working, going in and putting in the time, and tell him, you know, we know you're not getting paid, but you know, we're gonna lend you money with interest, and then you get to go work and put in your time and protect our people. The government won't pay you, but you can go to the bank, who again, really, hello, the bank controls the world. You know, money controls the world, and we're gonna go ahead and for your efforts and your sacrifice, we're gonna give you a loan, and you pay us back, and of course you can pay us interest. And they're getting commended for that. And yes, I guess it's a nice gesture, but how the hell do you justify an employee having to go out and borrow money to pay the bills that their employer should be paying, which in fact is the federal government? It's an embarrassment. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine what the other countries are thinking about us right now. It's just shameful. So anyway, enough of that for now. Malani Biliu, just I went to the funeral and just wanted to chat a little bit and just really send our condolences out to the family. You know, Malani Kalapana, a big part of most of our lives. Anyone that's about my age, really, I know Kaipo remembers Kalapana, probably a huge inspiration for your musical talent. But yeah, I think, yeah, Kaipo, I'm going to real quick because I just saw your. I'm not suggesting that we ban medical marijuana. Medical marijuana, I think, is a good thing. The recreational marijuana is what I cannot support. But the medical, absolutely. Great use of medical marijuana, I think, in many patients with different ailments. So, yeah, so I just wanted to send condolences out to the Biliu family again. Seven children. His wife, Crystal, really good friends of ours. And, I mean, I think Kalapana, again, big part of all of our lives growing up here on Kauai and in Hawaii, and in fact throughout the world, really. You know, he has a lot of fans. Kalapana has fans in all over the world: Japan, Korea, Philippines. I was talking to Kenji, not an original, but he was been with the band for, I believe, 27 years or 37 years, something like that. He was sharing some stories at the funeral. So yeah, just a big loss for Kauai, and condolences go out to Malani's family. Another bit of bad news, we just heard a little while ago another fatality right there in Lawai. A 63-year-old Lawai man was killed in an accident, struck a pole. That's all the information I have right now, but I mean, that's two in a week. Just you know, I try not to focus on the bad news, but again, it's just so sad that we gotta we just gotta drive safe. You know, we gotta pay attention on the roads, and we gotta really be safe. Government shutdown, we talked about that. Interesting target letter, FBI to the city, county corp council in Honolulu, Donna Leong. Interesting. I mean, you know, the only reason I bring that up is because that Chief Kealoha case started off with some mail tampering or theft of mail, and then it went into a huge identity theft, and then government corruption, some cops going to jail, and these guys under indictment, house gets seized, and now Corp Council is being dragged into this case because they, I guess the county attorney, or what's called the Corp Council on Oahu, Donna was part of the settlement process with Chief Keloha as he left the department. And what people are trying to determine where that funds came from, and they haven't received any of the responses from the county attorney's office. So I guess now the FBI, and a target letter means you're a suspect and in some wrongdoing. So that'll be interesting to watch as they play off. I know Donna; she's a one heck of an attorney. I know her personally. Worked with her on many issues, legislative issues, while I was president of HSAC, the State Association of Counties, and a very good lawyer. So I'm kind of surprised, but it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Got to do something about the traffic. Was supposed to go Waimea Saturday, but road was closed and traffic was nuts for hours. Yeah, that's one of the things I talked about in the campaign, that we needed to really open up the Cane Hall roads, because, when we get an accident, you completely disrupt. And I know there's the other side of that. We shouldn't be complaining when someone is killed in a traffic accident. That's a separate issue. And one that I agree. We should, if we're stuck in this traffic because someone has died on then yes, I think some families have just lost a loved one, and that should take more of a priority than a little inconvenience of us on the road. But that's a separate issue. The real issue is, why can't we open up those cane roads and allow an alternate route at the minimum during it's situations where the roads have to be closed. That's what I'm talking about, and that, I think, needs to be considered, needs to be pursued. Again, I believe that is a priority, much more of a priority than an economic revitalization down on Rice Street. I think opening up alternate routes in emergency situations are vital, not just for traffic accidents. My gosh, we could have a natural disaster, and we got to move people. Right now, we're stuck, and we need to start working with the private landowners to open up these roads, even if it's on a temporary interim basis. So. That's something that we gotta, I understand. I feel your pain. I had a funeral to go to. My uncle's funeral was at Holy Cross, probably the same one you had to go to, and we never made it. Never shared the time with our family because of a traffic accident. Now again, I know the person that died in that accident, and the family is suffering right now, and it's unfortunate, but that's, again, a totally separate issue. Talk about the illegal bright white headlights on the many new cars. Why doesn't the annual safety check? A good question, Larry. I don't know. And I have sent over communication while I was on the council to the KPD to start enforcing those altered headlights. The factory headlights is not much you can do about it. It's factory, but the altered ones definitely can. And there's a statute against altering any part of your vehicle as far as safety. So that's something that I can definitely ask KPD to take a look at again. Thanks for bringing that up. We need, on Social Security and Medicare, they're cutting. People need to work to feed families. I'm concerned about what McConnell and Trump will do next. Traffic. We need to go somewhere. Traffic will be closed from Waikomo to Kuhio. Yeah, again, traffic is an issue, Angie. I mean, it's just a top issue that this administration and this next council really has to focus on. And we cannot, again, I've said this too many times, we cannot continue to wait for the state. The state has a traffic plan. We're not going to see the state's plan implemented here on Kauai. We know that, and don't let anyone tell you that it's going to happen. All of the talk about the legislature, not one of those legislators came up and said, we got to work on traffic congestion for the outer islands. They're not going to do it. There's just no money right now. So it's just an issue that we got to deal with. And so we, as a county now, got to refocus our priorities and our projects to these projects that really going to make a difference for our people. That's what we need to do. And again, it starts, in my opinion, it starts with working with private landowners to get our cane roads open. Many will disagree, but then, hey, give me a better solution. There is none. There is none. Hey, Garrett, Lisa, Peggy, Roger, Stella, thank you. Condemned property. Yeah, that's an option for the county. It's expensive. And that's why I'm suggesting utilizing the cane roads. There is some options and opportunities there that just needs to be pursued. Coco Palms Hotel, I think we got duped. I know the owners personally. I spoke to them. The last discussion I had with them, they assured me that they were going to start. It hasn't happened. I don't think it's going to happen. That's another issue. I think that the county and the state, possibly federal government, needs to work together to potentially take that property, turn that into a park or some kind of cultural entity or cultural facility, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I think we've given them too many chances. We've given them, over the years, way too many chances. They got a big break with the allowing them to utilize the Iniki ordinance, which allows them to rebuild with the standards and the codes from back in the Iniki days, which is a huge savings. And they still couldn't get it done. So that's something that, again, our administration with the state, our delegation and the council and possibly, again, the federal government needs to work together to figure out how we can obtain that land and convert it into a cultural site. There was something there that I wanted to follow up on. Mel, Kauai get lots of pukas in the roads. Hope this new administration will act fast. They will be receiving the general excise tax, the increase that we all started paying January 1st. That this first 6 months, the last half of this fiscal year, we should be getting about 12.5 million, and I anticipate most of those funds will be going to traffic repairs. Hopefully, a bunch of that will be going to potholes that will be done correctly and not just band-aids. These potholes got to be fixed from the bottom up, redone, and so that they last. This temporary fixes ain't working, especially with the amount of rain that we're getting. Every time we rain, the potholes get emptied out, and we create more pukas. So, yeah, we got to really work on that and do it the right way. Again, it's reconstructing that area where the hole is, digging out, scraping, redo the base, and keeping it, setting it so that it doesn't wash away with the next rain. Yeah, cocoa palms, it's frustrating. Legislature should look at cocoa palms again. I agree, but again, I think it's a partnership that the county has to join in with them, and whether it's funding, floating a bond, whatever it's, however the options are available. I think now is the time that we got to really do that. Now is the time to acquire the property. If we can't acquire it, we need to use eminent domain. Agreed. I think I would bet, and I don't know, I haven't spoken to the owner since the last time, several months ago, but I would bet that they probably are in a position where they might want to get rid of this property because it is coming. Becoming a problem for them, and they're probably in a big hole with that. So again, it's the powers that be needs to start that dialogue, working with the state. Again, there's no way the county can do it alone, but that is something that we need to work with the state and possibly, again, federal government. We do have land trusts out there that have the ability to secure the funds to get these lands. I think that is probably a doable option, that let a land trust take over the land, that property, and let a land trust manage the property, and probably the best alternative right now. Great to hear from you too, Cindy. Avon, Gladys, who else is on here? Oh my God, Daniel, Wendy, Lou, Martin, Leo, again, thank you, and Auntie Millie. Sorry about the Dallas Cowboys, Auntie, so sorry. We'll just jump into that real quick. Let's take a break and talk about NFL. I was 3-1 last week. I only was wrong on the Chargers and Patriots because Tom Brady is just a damn awesome quarterback, and unreal. Good game. Chargers just got beaten. So for next week, my prediction, let me hold. Everything you say is so true and so sad. Oops. And everything you say, I support you, Mel. Thank you for caring. Never give up being the big-hearted brother. Oh, thank you, Tiana. It's just, I love doing this. I love you guys all participating. Yeah, Kaipo, go sleep. Go sleep. We'll catch you on next week. Every Wednesday, 5:30 to 6:30. So glad you're still doing the talk show. Yeah, I enjoy doing this. I mean, I think it keeps my brain active. And I really appreciate and enjoy chatting with all of you folks. So anyway, predictions next week: Rams against the Saints. It's going to be the Rams. I love Drew Brees, but it's going to be the Rams. And then Chiefs and Patriots. Auntie Millie, not Auntie Millie, I'm sorry, you're a Dallas Cowboy fan. Raylene Alani, I don't know if she's on, but I don't want the Brady bunch to win. Cute. But yeah, I think the Chiefs will teach the Patriots a lesson this week. It'll be Rams and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and I think the Rams are going to win. That's just my prediction. Now, don't bet on my predictions because that is more emotional than scientific. But this is what I want to see. This is what I think will happen in my very limited knowledge of the NFL. But I think the Rams and the Chiefs will do it this week, and then Rams will take it. As Michael Jackson once said, I'll be there next Wednesday. Right on. You going with the Rams, Auntie Millie? Roger Dodger. We're going to be on the same side this week. Beautiful. Yeah, Dallas was it was a good game. It was a really, really good game, but couldn't make it happen. Couldn't make it happen. So anyway, be curious to see how that pans out. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Chiefs going to win. You think Chiefs going to beat the Rams? I know they're going to win this week. They'll beat the Patriots. But Vitos, you actually think that you are going to beat the Rams? I don't think so. I'm really sad that the Chargers didn't make it. I was hoping the Chargers would get a little further. But that's cool. One of my son's best friends is Tyrell Williams, the receiver with the Chargers. So my son called me a couple of days ago and invited me to go with him and Tyrell's parents to Vegas in March. So I am like stoked. Get to hang out with Tyrell Williams and his parents, get to meet his parents. Love that kid. He's a good kid. He's a great athlete. I wish they would use him more. I mean, he's on the field running decoy routes all day long. He's definitely a deep threat. So anyway, I'm hoping I can swing it in March to get to Vegas with my son and spend some time with them. It'll be cool. All right. We did that. Oh, Tulsi for president. I'm gonna spend too much time with this. I'm MNFC all the way, even if the Cowboys are out, go NFC. Oh, Raylene Walani. Raylene, by the way, happy belated birthday. I just mentioned your name because we talked about the Patriots and how they're gonna lose this week against the Chiefs. So I just wanted to bring that up now that I saw you jump on. So hey, your gray beard is looking much better now. I actually trimmed it today. I trimmed it. I even cut my hair today. So Patsy said, "Thank God." But it's gonna get thicker and it's gonna fill out, and then it'll be nice. I actually like it. The Rams rule. Steelers will win Super Bowl. Yeah, they're gonna be watching it. Oh, there's Baron, my son. Hey, Baron, welcome aboard. Thank you for. I was just talking about Tyrell and Vegas and the Chargers and all of that. So, hey, Raylene, how are you, cousin? I don't know if you heard me, but the Patriots will lose this week against the Chiefs. So, anyway, Post Office, Louis Post Office, the feds have decided to keep that open. So a lot of people are happy about that. And we'll see that'll remain. So a lot of you that utilize the Louis Post Office, that's going to stay open. So that's cool. What's going to close is the Iolani Palace. I just saw that on the news tonight. They're going to close the Iolani Palace at nighttime because of the vandals and the troublemakers. Now, you see, this is the part of government that frustrates me. A lot of people go to the Iolani Palace at night for cultural purposes. They take their kids. They take their families. Your Patriots jersey and helmet is being delivered to your home. No sense, really, and I'm not using it. My Rams jersey is on the way. I never had one, and I ordered one, and it's coming. So anyway, the frustration is that Iolani Palace, which is a very sacred place, and a lot of families, a lot of native Hawaiians go there with their kids, and they go at night, and it's nice with the lights all. And but no, that's not going to happen. It's going to shut down at night because of vandals and troublemakers, which is really, really, really frustrating. We're letting these bad guys win. We're letting the bad guys win. Tax returns not going to be affected. I keep jumping around because I'm reading the comments as they come up. Ed Kaahea. Aloha, Ed Kaahea. How you doing? Yeah, it just frustrates me when we punish the people that obey the laws and we allow these bad people. Hey, Wally, thank you for joining. We basically let the bad people win. So because we have vandals at Iolani Palace, we close the doors. Now no one can go there at night, rather than go after the vandals that are making the trouble and putting them in jail. No, what we're going to do is we're going to let them go, and we are going to tell the people, the law-abiding citizens. Hey, Stephanie, I love you. Chucky, Stan Kualoha. So we're basically punishing our law-abiding citizens by taking away entitlements, by taking away rights that they have because of a few bad apples. And that is the frustration. Hey, Taunapa, I said hello, see him shortly. And that is so unfair. I mean, what it'll take, you stake out the place, you put a few cops or sheriffs or whatever the heck, and you catch the bad guys. And in the meantime, you allow the place to remain open for the cultural practices of so many people. But that's just what we've become. We've become terrorized by our own people, and we sit back and allow it to happen. And I mean, if I was a native Hawaiian right now, I'd be up in arms because it's wrong. And to come out and say, yeah, we're going to close it because of vandals. Such a cultural place. Put a camera. I mean, yeah, hello. Wouldn't that make sense? All the high-tech cameras we get today, we're not putting them in bathrooms to watch people pee. But yeah, there's a lot of things we could do. But no, the easy way out, shut the place. Punish the law-abiding citizens. I'm getting sick and tired of that. And even here, locally, on Kauai, the soccer game, at the KIF soccer, high school soccer, they had to call off the game because there was an altercation and it got out of control. So now they're going to have the game. This was January 9th. They had the game, and the two teams, somebody bumped somebody, boom, blew up, out of control. They called the game, sent everybody home, and now they're going to have the game. They're going to finish the game, but they are going to close the game to the public and the media. They're going to only allow the players, the coaches, and the game officials. No parents. What the hell is wrong with our society? What the hell is wrong? So these kids, some of these kids are seniors that's going to be playing for their last game. You're gonna, I mean, hello? So again, right? Again, the bad people win and the law-abiding people lose. That is stupid. That's not, what does the kids learn? No, you punish the kids that were involved in the altercation. You ban them from the game. You ban them from the game. Ban the coaches if the coaches lost control, whatever. But you don't take away the right of a grandma, a tutu, a mom and a dad and a sister to go watch their relative play ball. Who the hell thinks about these kinds of solutions? Ban it. Just call the season. Just say, this season no count. But no, we're going to the players, the coaches, and the officials. No family, no. What these kids aren't learning a damn thing. My wife is telling me, watch my language. It's stupid. I don't know who made that decision, but it's stupid. The kids that were involved in the altercation should be suspended, not only from the game, but from school. They should be, if an assault occurred, they should be prosecuted. But the game goes on with the families and the spectators. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, you get altercations all the time at every level of play. The coaches got to be responsible for their players. And if they cannot be, then they shouldn't be coaches. And I don't know the circumstances of this particular case. My point is this. If you had an altercation and whatever the involved parties, you ban them, you kick them out, and you let the rest of the kids play in front of their families. That's what I'm saying. They banned the press. Bethany, they banned the press because they were afraid that the press might take a photo of an uncontrollable coach, uncontrollable player. I don't know what they're thinking. I know that they're sending the wrong message to our kids. Hey, Polly, I think they're sending our kids the wrong message. That's what they're doing. You're responsible for your actions, and you're out. Coaches, you cannot control your kids. You're out. I mean, for the kids to get to that point, apparently, again, you bump each other, whatever. It's rivals. Yeah, two teams at every level of play. Yeah, in college, you punch somebody, you're out. You kicked out from that game and the next. You get a second unsportsmanlike, and I know the coach goes. So that's how you deal with this. You don't deal with it by punishing the public. The parents, the families, grandmas and grandpas that's so excited to watch their kids play. No, you cannot come. And the media cannot come, so you won't even see pictures. Ridiculous. Hey, Gerardo, all the way from Des Moines, Iowa. Holy moly, it must be late over there. Oh, gosh. Anyway, as you can see, that is just, I love sports. I love youth sports. I love adult sports too, but I love youth athletics. I love, when my first year Pop One, my parents didn't even know I was playing. I had to forge signatures to play because they didn't want me to play. But as I got older, my family, my parents, my dad wasn't living here, but my mom, I never had that people watching me play. I can imagine how it felt to have your parents watch you play. And so for these kids that practice so hard, Cindy, there were cards, according to the article, there were cards pulled from kids and whatever, but regardless of what happened, the kids and the coaches involved, done. All of the people that are involved, you deal with it. If it's a spectator, if it's a parent, if it's whatever, you deal with it. Have them arrested and you get them out of the game. And then, I hope they're listening too. I hope they're listening. They're probably not listening. But anyway, moving on. Real quick, Jalen Hurts, Alabama's quarterback that was a starter. He got hurt. Tua came in, won the game last year. And then this year, Tua got hurt. Jalen came in, won the championship game. Anyway, he decided today he's going to Oklahoma. He's going to go to Oklahoma. Hey, Jill, Chad, Miley, and Jundale, I'm sorry. Yeah, so Jalen made the announcement today. He's going over to Oklahoma. He's leaving. Really, it's tough to be in that. You're a blue chip player. You're great starter quarterback. Unfortunately, your teammate is Tua. So he's going to Oklahoma. He's going to do well for that program, and be interesting how that plays out. So Tua may challenge Jalen next year at some point. It'll be interesting to watch. I scream and yell at my kids. I'm passionate, and I am that mom in the stands. But I'm always down to there's one thing to you get into the game, but when it becomes physical, then the rules are in place. Baron, adults being soft and selfish. You sound like your father. When it becomes physical, you deal with the physical, you deal with the issues, you deal with the mistakes, you deal with the violations, and the game goes on. Anyway, this one, I gotta tell you, really, I was reading the audit today, just because this is what I do. I'm so much time on my hands now. I was reading the audit, the rail audit, and saw some things on there that is, I wonder why. And I'm hoping that it's supposedly a 4-part audit. The 2 parts came out. I'm waiting to see what else they find, but I know that so far, the first part, they uncovered this and it's the city county of Honolulu project, so it really doesn't impact Kauai. My fear, though, is that at some point, as these costs rise, somebody's going to have to pay the bill. You saw what they did at the last legislature at the session. They increased the TAT 1% on all the islands, and all that money will go to rail. But they're still short. My fear is that if we continue to mismanage that project, we meaning the county and the state, that eventually we all will have to pay for this project. So just a little, I'm just going to go over a couple because we're running out of time, but HDR Engineering is a company that Hart, that organization that supposedly manages or mismanages the rail project. They have a contract with HDR Engineering, And I'm going to do my own investigation to find out where the connections are with the principals, the owners, the officers of this engineering company, and where the connection is, because there's got to be a connection. So it's really piqued my interest. But anyway, they're paying Hart, the real, supposedly the real agency, is paying HDR Engineering $9.6 million a year for 18 employees that are on contract. So these are not city employees. This company, HDR Engineering, is not supervised or evaluated by the city or by Hart. These 18 employees are evaluated by HDR Engineering. They are evaluated by the company that is on contract with the city, and Hart, and they do not get evaluated. Their performance does not get evaluated in any way by the city. This is what the audit shows. This is not Mel Rapozo speculating. This is what's in the audit. So they have 18 consultants, and they're getting paid $9.6 million a year, which comes out to about $505,000 per employee. So that was the first. I'm sorry. That was the most recent, the second phase of the audit. It's basically $42,000 per month on these non-city employees. I don't get it. So anyway, these guys are getting paid a lot of money, and this project is delayed. But the first part of the audit, phase one of the audit, and I think you may have heard about this on the news, but the city, through Hart, prematurely awarded contracts so basically they awarded the contracts, funded the contracts. Hey, Bobby. But the contracts weren't ready to go. The work wasn't ready to be done. So now those companies, those contractors that got awarded the contract, filed claims against the city because of the delay, because they weren't allowed to move forward and get their pay for the work that they were contracted to do. They filed claims. So since 2009, they've paid over $354 million to these contractors in delay claims. Now, since that number, since this audit, they have agreed to pay another contractor $160 million. So right now, as of when I read that audit, we had to pay, we meaning the city, and again, when I say we, it's all of us, because we can be left holding the bag, $514 million in claims because these contracts are awarded prematurely. Now, my question is, who gets fired for this? Who gets fired? Or is this okay? Is this acceptable? Change orders is another thing. I'm waiting to see what the audit will find with the amount of change orders and how much unnecessary monies are being funneled to people. And it's all politics, we all know. And I'm gonna do what I can to figure out where that connections are, because I don't think anybody else is doing it. I mean, auditors are, and I'm happy that they got. I'm trying to think of that auditor's name, not a new auditor. He was with campaign spending in the old days. Gosh, I'm gonna forget his name, but he's a tough guy, smart guy, and so he'll find it. But I'm gonna do my own little digging, because I think I think there's a rat, and again, only because at the end of the day, when the state is at the point, the city and county is at the point where we got to come up with these funds, and they're gonna go to the state, and the state's gonna like they just did, but you can only tap the tourists so much, right? You can only bump the TAT so often, and then it's gonna come back. It's going to come back, and they're going to say, well, you know what? Let's bump your GE tax or income tax or whatever the case may be. They need the funds, and they're going to have to get it from somewhere. I heard that millions of dollars are going to the consultants. Absolutely, Roland. And that's where they're losing the money. Yeah, that's what we just talked about. These consultants, again, $96 million a year. $9.6 million a year. comes out to $500,000 per employee. And again, non-city employees, these are contractors. These are the kinds of stuff that doesn't have to go to civil service, right? You know, you got a friend, you want to hire your contractor friend, you go get it done. Excuse me, I'm looking off to the side because I'm checking out if I missed any comments. Yeah, please chime in if you guys have anything to say on that topic. I noticed the comments had stopped. I hope I'm still online. Let's see. Ban the kids and parents involved. Yeah, that is true. No, ban the public and the media. Oh my gosh. So anyway, hey John, Fran, Brian, and Damion. Anything else you guys like to talk about? We still got about 15 more minutes left. Voters need to wake up and get the facts. Well, that's always the problem, right? You know, you got to understand at that level, at the state level, like Congress, at federal level, there's just the political connections, the money, what's involved. It's very hard to crack that nut. And if not for auditors like, oh, I wish I remembered my friend's name, son of a gun. Yeah, he does a great job, but if not for him, if not for that auditor looking into this mismanagement, what bothers me is all of this stuff comes out and the administration is going to defend it. They're going to defend it. They're going to find excuses where they should be finding these people and getting rid of them and saving the money. I'm glad you want to look into this for the people of Kauai and educate all of us on a weekly basis. It's just very frustrating that you weren't supported by some of them. Be nice. Real, not too good. We're going to eventually have to pay for that in the future. Not too good. They never think about things. Well, you know, again, it was, you know, we politicians, and I was one for a long time. You always try to find solutions. And what I call snake oil salesmen, they come and they put out their plan and they talk a really good talk. They talk a good story. They sell you on the benefit. And politicians are always looking for a solution. And most politicians, the expertise level in government, most of the time is lay people. You know, we got a lot of attorneys up there that they know law, but they don't know engineering. They don't know public works and parks. And so we rely on these so-called experts, and they come and they sell us a nice slice of beef. Turn out that it ain't the beef that you thought you bought. And that's what's happening. So unfortunately, you know, they bid, they bought, they got it, they started, and now all of a sudden they find that they themselves are in a big hole, a hole that they cannot come out of without more revenue. And they're at a point where, you know, do you tear down the rail and lose all the money that you've spent and pay the feds back, or do we try to finish this project? But the more and more they dig, the more and more they're going to find that there's more mismanagement. And whether it's malicious or not, it's either malicious or incompetence. And either one of them, if it was malicious, automatically fired, maybe prosecuted. But if it's incompetence, then they need to be removed and replaced with competent people. And that's where government fails, because of the relationships, the political relationships in government prevent leaders from getting rid of incompetent employees. That's seen all over the country. It's not just here. It's all over the country. Auntie Steph, can we reach out in Prayer Warriors? Yes. John Apana and his wife Janet, really good friends of ours. Very long-time employee of the county. Great people. Unfortunately, got into an accident on Friday and got pretty badly hurt. John is in a neck brace. He fractured his chest bone. Even though the airbag deployed, he still managed to hit the steering wheel. Anyway, they're at home and they're trying to get better. So if we could ask all of you, send some prayers out to John and Janet Apana for a quick and full recovery. Also, you know, asking for your prayers for that accident victim today in Lauai. Again, I don't know who that is, but you know, if 63-year-old Lauai male, chances are most of us on this session knows who that person is. So, you know, our prayers obviously go out to them as well, and to Mr. Dizal, who lost his life last week. Well, I guess it was on Saturday, less than a week ago. in Kalaheo. So yeah, prayers to everybody. And really, just this world is a tough time in this world. I started posting a quote every day on Twitter, and it just helps me remind myself about what life is really all about. And so we just got to be positive and try to do what's best. My job here on this live is to inform and educate, and just keep everyone informed what's going on, because the Garden Island newspaper does not do a good job about informing us, the people, what's going on in this county and the state. They don't, and I don't know if anyone disagrees with it. I'm sorry, but they just don't. This, I'm hoping, is one way. And again, the invitation is out there for anyone that wants me to look into anything. Just go ahead and shoot me a message, so I can prep myself for next week's session. It's every Wednesday at 5:30, and we encourage participation. We really do. That's because they hire incompetent people that can't even recognize a bad deal. Well, Larry, I think everyone starts off with good intentions, and then they get into this rut, and they get into this normal practice, and it's just sad, because in government, you're not dealing with your own money. You're not dealing with, you have voters, yeah, and like at the state level, unless you're not as connected with your delegation as maybe council is. You see the council members all over the place. The state, most of the time, our state representatives are in Oahu at the Square Building, so we don't have that engagement like I think local county politics has. So most of the time, you don't know what's going on. And the way our state legislature works is, thousands of bills get introduced every session, thousands of them, and then only so many get through. But in the process, the legislators have the ability to gut and replace bills. So what was on the calendar yesterday may show up tomorrow, same bill number with a completely different bill. So most of the time, the people are definitely outside of the loop. So I encourage people that if you know of something that's going on, let me know so we can do the research and we can educate and inform everyone else. Because I think it's vital for this community to survive if by being informed and educated, and most people don't have time to sit down and go read or open up the state legislature website and look at the bills and the activities of the day. So they're going to start cranking. Today was the opening, so they're going to start working hard, and these bills are going to be starting to funnel through. So there are obviously certain bills that I'm concerned about. I already talked about the marijuana bill. The taxation bills always, are on the top of my list. I think the vacation rental bills, the Senate Minority Leader Senator Favela was on it. He's talking about taxing illegal vacation rentals. He's looking at legislation that'll tax illegal vacation rentals. Again, money driven. The problem with illegal vacation rentals aren't that they're not paying taxes. It's because they're illegal vacation rentals. So the problem isn't taxation. Yes, we can go out and if we're driven by money, which is the wrong motivation, but if we're driven by money, then we're going to go after illegal activity and tax them. No, you cannot tax illegal activity. You make a decision. If you want to tax them, then you legalize it and then you tax it. If not, you end it. You stop the illegal activity. We're just so off course because we have become so dependent on money and more money. Rather than look at efficiencies in government, no, it's so much easier to go find more money. Just raise a tax. Hey, just charge 0.5% more in the outer islands, or charge the tourists another percent. Rather than actually dig into the departments to find, like the auditor is doing right now with the rail. But no, you need to dig into all of the departments to find where are these inefficiencies, and let's fix up the inefficiencies before we start taxing our people. You know, it's so easy to say, just charge a tourist, charge a tourist, charge a tourist. And yeah, you know, they should pay their fair share, but that shouldn't be the reason to fund, or that shouldn't be a justification to fund inefficiency and incompetence. That's where I think we're off track. No, what you do is you find inefficiencies, you create an efficient government, utilize those savings to pursue other projects, or reduce the tax burden on the taxpayer, on the local residents. That's what we should be doing. That's not what we're doing. We're looking at ways to raise more revenue. You know, that's what the legislature is doing. A lot of commitments, a lot of promises. You know, we're gonna find more money for the flood victims. We're gonna find more money for the lava victims. Where the money gonna come from? Where is it gonna come from when you have a mounting expenditures in the state and county? So where does that money come from? Well, the only one place it can come from is taxes and fees. That's the only place. So anyway, we're winding down. Does anyone know how Kawakami is doing his promise to audit county services? I've heard that they're going to be auditing all the departments, and I know he was on earlier. I'm not sure if he's still on, but if he is, I welcome him to chime in. What I heard was that they are pursuing or proceeding with some department audits, internal audits. And you know, while internal audits are something that I fully support, I also believe that the audits should be done by independent third-party auditors outside of the administration. It just makes sense. Our financial audit every year with the county is done by an external auditor, auditing firm, a CPA firm out on Oahu. You know, internal audits, I think, like I said, it should be done anyway. That's not something, I mean, we just never did them. To all administrations that I know, that I've worked with, they never did internal audits. You know, and every audit I try to put forward at the council level, whether it was for planning or public works, we never got the support. So internal audits are great. That's just, every business should do internal audits. That's just you know, that's what you do. But when you want to look for efficiencies and you want the best result out of an audit, it needs to be done by an independent auditor outside of the administration. And that's why we have the county auditor position that has been vacant, that has been, today was posted online, which I plan to apply for. So we'll see how it goes. I hope that I can, you know, get that position and start looking into the inefficiencies, and not so much as I gotcha, but as a tool for the council and the administration to utilize to create efficiencies throughout the government. So anyway, Roland, too much accidents lately. Maybe a coalition of concerned people on Kauai can start holding signs outside by Kukui Grove. You know, that will not hurt. We do the seatbelt campaigns, we do child seat campaigns, a lot of campaigns on the side of the road. I think with these two fatalities in less than a week, and Roland, I'm sure you know the gentleman too, he's our age. Definitely something that is worth discussing. So maybe we'll raise that topic next week. Our 1 hour is up. I'm gonna sign off because it's time to go. But I appreciate each and every one of you joining in from all over the country. I love it. This is we're growing. Our little following is growing, and I appreciate that. I thank you guys. Again, just message me if you guys want me to look into anything. If you have a concern, it doesn't have to be about hang on, water. It doesn't have to be about the county. Give me about anything on your mind. Just shoot me a message. I'll do my best to research it, and then we'll discuss it in the following week. Every Wednesday. Happy birthday, Raylene. Sorry, I see the birthday cake. I did wish you earlier. You weren't on. But anyway, happy birthday to Raylene Wa'alani. She made the big 6-0 today. 60 years old. Unbelievable. Just kidding, Raylene. You're actually younger than me, but we'll see in a little bit. Next week, go Rams. You're right. Go Rams. Next week, 5:30 to 6:30. Please share it with your friends. Let your friends know. Let's build this community up to a point where we can have some real good discussion in Manao. Hello, everybody. God bless you guys. Take care. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Good night.